y'all, welcome back. So I'm still not 100%, but I am going to record for you guys. I have a ton of downloads, a ton of messages that I want to put out to you guys later today. But I just wanted to quickly address what's going on right now from a spiritual point of view. Initially, my first reaction to getting the news about who the predicted president is going to be in the US, my initial reaction, of course, is frustration. Of course, it's going to be confusion and all of those things. Because I am a very empathic person, when I see things like this happen, I understand even if I may not be affected, other people will. So, a lot of the things that could potentially happen in the next couple of years will affect people outside of my family. And me being spiritual and any of us being spiritual does not stop that fact. And I just want people to understand that, because a lot of people were making little slick comments towards me and saying whatever they felt like they needed to say because I brought up voting and I brought up this election. But I want y'all to understand that the spiritual realm and the physical realm go hand in hand. They are both equally as important. As spiritual beings, we do understand that everything happens in the spirit first, but that does not mean we will not be affected in the physical. And I don't understand how someone who is so spiritually enlightened does not understand that, or lacks empathy for people who will be harmed by any situation that may go on. It does not matter who sits in that office. Some people will thrive and some people won't. And understand that some of the people who will not thrive may be your neighbor. You have to have empathy. I'm not saying that you need to worry or stress. This is not the time to worry or stress about anything, because there's nothing to worry about. But don't be so spiritually enlightened. Don't be so way up in the clouds that you don't understand. There is work that we must do in the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And you are walking around breathing on this earthly plane, which means there are things that are going to affect you. There's not a single person in the US, unless I guess you're a billionaire or a millionaire, which you probably wouldn't be watching this, who has not in some way been affected by what has gone on the last couple of years, okay? We're talking all the way back to like 2019. We can all attest to that. But yet, here we are, still spiritual, being affected by physical, earthly things, okay? So I just want to say that. But I also want to say that as a collective, we have been manifesting authenticity and self-love at its highest form. You have one side that is possibly going to make change in this world and has promised things that sound really amazing and sound this like this is exactly what we need. However, that side was not acting from an authentic place. Then you have another side who is acting from an authentic place, but that authentic place does not mean that that person is good. That person is just authentic. That person is just not fake. What you see is exactly what you get with this person. And because we as a collective have manifested authenticity at its highest form, that is exactly what we're getting. So the download that I received in the midst of all of this chaos, when I woke up this morning, even with getting the news, I still felt a sense of peace, which lets me know that God has a plan. And in order for us to reach the level that we're trying to reach spiritually and as a collective, this is the path that we have to go down to get there. We weren't going to get down this path with the other party, because the other party was not acting in authenticity. And we have to see the real. Okay, this is the age of Aquarius. We have to see the real. We have to see the ugly truth, no matter how hard it is. Okay, God is still in control always. Please don't ever forget that. God has a plan for us that we can't even comprehend as humans. But understand, anything that happens and does not happen is meant to happen for our highest and best good. That does not mean that you stop doing work in the spiritual. That does not mean that you stop doing work in the physical. But what it means is everything that's happening right now was manifested collectively by the collective, our own collective conscious is what brought this into fruition. So because us as a collective manifested authenticity, that is what we're getting. And it does not mean that you will not be affected positively or negatively. And it does not mean that other people won't either. So I'm just asking that my people who support me, I'm not talking to the people who don't, the people who support me, I want you guys to really make sure that you are remaining peaceful, that you're not being afraid, that you're not allowing your anxiety to take over as hard as it may be. I want you guys to remain at peace. If you feel at peace, but then you get on the internet and you're starting to have anxiety, that's a reason for that. That's not your energy. There's a lot of people who don't understand or do not see things from a higher perspective who are freaking out, and they have a right to do that. Okay, as a human being who has to live in this world and will be affected by the things that are happening, they have a right to do that. But if you call yourself a light worker, if you call yourself a spiritual leader, please continue to have empathy for those who do not understand what exactly is going on. Yes, you are human, so you may have arguments with people, you may look at people sideways, you may call them stupid. All of those things may happen because you are a human and you still have to live here and you still have emotions. But always try to go back to your spiritual body. Always try to take things back to God and understand that God is in control regardless, okay? None of us are in control. Even the people who think they have the power and think that they are in control, they are not in control. They are being used for God's plan. And again, in order for us to get to this higher level of consciousness and raise the vibration of humanity, this is the path that we have to go down to do that. I know that doesn't make sense to everybody. I know a lot of people don't see that, but in time we will see why this happened and why we needed to go down this path. No, it is not over. There's just still a lot of work to be done, but the different feelings and emotions that this has stirred up in people is going to cause change. Okay, it's going to cause people to be so uncomfortable that they're not going to sit here and allow things to continue to go on as they have gone on. There are going to be people who are going to make better decisions for themselves, better decisions for their family, that they would not have done if it had went the other way. Okay, this is why this is the path we had to go down. We were never going to go down the easy path. This war was never going to be easy. Okay, so please don't ever think that, and please don't ever get comfortable. Okay, we have been in preparation, we have been training, we have been strengthening ourselves for what is to come. It's not over, y'all. I want y'all to understand that. And I know it seems scary, I know it's frightening, I know it's frustrating, but you got to understand, you are still part of the small percentage of the collective who is consciously aware enough to know that your mind and your feelings and your actions are directly connected to source and directly connected to God and have the ability to enact change. It's not going to happen overnight. It never was. All right. And again, if it would have went the other way, it almost would have been too sweet. It almost would have been the easy way out. And a lot of people would have put down their swords. A lot of people would have stopped fighting. And I know people are tired of fighting, but we're not there yet, honey. The earth is literally dying. Okay? The earth is dying. And I actually got this download a couple nights ago. Something else is going to happen that has to do with climate and has to do with like the earth, that is going to force humans to do something to take climate seriously and take their home and take our earth seriously. I actually picked up on this, I think, in my October 2024 video. More is to come, but right now people are very uncomfortable, and in uncomfortable situations is when us as a collective, we thrive because we work well under pressure. Okay, because we are diamonds, right? So we were born like feeling the pressure of life. So we're not the collective that's like, okay, I'm under pressure, I give up. This right now, what I feel, this energy, I feel peace. And I also feel people that are like, okay, there's something I need to do for myself and my family. And that feeling that they have, that fire that's like been ignited inside their soul, would not have even been a possibility if it had went the other way, because people in the collective would have been too comfortable. But also, again, circling back to what I said about authenticity, we asked for authenticity, and that is exactly what we're getting. Okay, The other side would have done things that may have served most of the collective, but it would not have been authentic. It would have been fake. This side again is very 100% authentic. That doesn't mean that authenticity is tasteful. It doesn't mean that authenticity is morally correct. It just means it's authentic. And we need to see the real in order to get to where we're going as a collective, okay? Spiritually as a collective. Everything that the enemy does always backfires on them every single time. Anything that they do to try to control us or stop us, they always fall up short because it's already been written that the light is going to win anyway, okay? You're going to win anyway. So with that being said, there is nothing that happens next that trumps spiritual law. Spiritual law is always going to play out. So, what you put out, you will get back. Okay? Karma is very real. I don't care what your religion is, I don't care what you believe in. What you put out, you will get back. What you reap, you shall sow. Period. Okay? So, as a collective, I need y'all to understand that justice is always served one way or another. Okay? If at all possible, stay in your divine energy, y'all. Like, try your best. It's not going to be easy because a lot of y'all are extremely empathetic. Y'all are empaths. Y'all pick up on collective energy. Y'all feel this energy and it sucks. It doesn't feel like good energy, but you're meant to feel it because you're meant to take that negative energy from the collective that you are feeling and transmute it back into love and power. It's not over. It's not over. And I've been saying this for like 2 years. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Okay, please understand that. But don't you, light worker, spiritual leader, you who has been given God-given power to have control in this collective, don't you sit in this nasty energy, this feeling of confusion, and just remember who really has the power, and that is God. Okay? And just remember that your thoughts and your feelings create your reality. So while this is going on and things are happening that you cannot control, what you can control is yourself, and you need to make sure that you are really holding on to exactly the future that you see for yourself. Okay? That is not going anywhere. Okay? It's not going anywhere unless you say it's going somewhere. So you need to declare and decree over your life that you and your family are protected by the Most High God, that anything that you want is still attainable for you, that you're going to still remain on a high vibration. And every single time that you feel negative and anytime that you have anxiety or frustration, you are going to sit with that energy. That I want you to transmute that energy back into love and allow it to empower you. Okay? Allow this energy that you're feeling to empower you. You can still send love to the rest of the collective. You can still protest. You can still talk about what's going on and be a spiritual person. I want y'all to understand that. You can still talk about these things, have feelings, and be a human and still be spiritual. You can understand from a higher perspective that God has a plan for us, and what he's doing right now may not make sense, but it's happening and it's divinely orchestrated for things to go this way, and still be pissed off. That is your right as a human being, okay? We are not God. So it doesn't matter how enlightened you think you are still a human who has to live here in the physical realm. And you and people around you are going to be affected in one way or another, okay? Don't be so spiritual that you lack empathy. Don't be so spiritual that you think you're so smart and you're so intelligent that this doesn't mean anything. It means everything. Everything that's happening right now means everything. Just make sure that you do what's best for yourself, best for humanity, and best for your family at the end of the day. And the best thing that you can do right now, especially when it comes to things that you cannot control, is remain at peace and keep transmuting this energy that they're trying to throw at us with love, because God has the final say regardless.